beautiful, awesome people, and welcome to the first impression of Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch Remastered for the PS4. And here's a question I'm going to go into this game with. Why have I not played this game until now? It is an absolute disgrace as a fan of Level 5. I'm an absolute fangirl for the developer Level 5. They made my favourite game for the PS2, which is probably in my top 10 favourite games of all time, which is Dark Cloud. I'm not sure if I've ever spoken about that, but Dark Cloud will definitely happen on the channel regardless of those of you who know Dark Cloud. But anyways, Ni no Kuni, it is originally a PS3 game, and it was remastered for the PS4 and the Nintendo Switch. The version I'll be playing for this first review, this first impression review, will be the PS4 Pro version. So it's gonna probably look a little bit different to the compared to like the Switch version if you do play that. But it should play very similar regardless of performance. I've played games on the Nintendo Switch. It's not that much different compared to the PS4. Anyways, for those of you who are looking at the visuals and going, "Ooh, I spy with my little eye. This looks like Studio Ghibli visuals," and you would be correct. Studio Ghibli also worked on this legendary game as well. This game also won a whole bunch of awards from memory. It won like Best Soundtrack. I do believe it won something in regards to visuals. Probably won a whole bunch of other awards. I know that it did win an awful lot of awards, so it's kind of like a question, why the hell am I just picking this up now? So even just from this part as well, you can kind of see it's a bit of a strategy game. And it's basically almost down my alleyway. I love these types of games. I love strategy games, JRPG stuff. It's kind of one of my favorite genres overall. And behind that's like puzzle and strategy games and all that. Then again, strategy kind of comes into RPG, doesn't it? So I guess that's a bit of a redundant statement there. Anyways, I think that's basically all I know about this game. As I said, this is my first time touching it. I've tried my very best to stay very clear of getting spoiled for this game, because it was like, I want to pick this up eventually down the track, which I'm eventually going to do now. As I said, a year late, because this came out last year with Ni no Kuni 2. The Prince's Revenant, I think it was, came out in 2018. And because of how popular Ni no Kuni did, Level 5 was like, hey, let's remaster the first one and bring it off to PS4 and the Nintendo Switch. So hopefully they'll do the same with Ni no Kuni 2 and port that to the Nintendo Switch or whatever as well. I don't think that's on the Switch. Anyways, because this is the PS4 Pro version, let's have a look at the 4K settings. Okay, 4K at 30 frames per second or 1440p at 60 frames per second. I'm not touching anything because the last time I did this is actually my second recording. And the last time I touched something, I had a message saying the game was corrupted. But, in my own defense, while I was downloading this game, of course, Australian internet being Australian internet, it dropped while it was downloading the game, and I think that may have corrupted. So that's why this video is going up a wee bit late. But, okay, so audio language is in English or Japanese, which is cool. In order to change the language in which the game text will be displayed, please use PS4 system language settings. So we can play in Japanese or we can play in English. I love that because I like to switch between English and Japanese, because sometimes Japanese voice acting tends to be a little bit better than the English voice actors. It all comes down to like the game and who they've hired for each of the VAs. So I'm going to stick with English for a little bit. Who knows, halfway through the impression, I may switch to Japanese and see what that sounds like, if I can do it on the fly, that is. And then go from there, because what game was it that I was playing? I was playing it in English. It was Detective Pikachu, I do believe. I preferred Japanese over the English VOs there, so as I said, it's a personal thing that I do appreciate that they put in both English and Japanese voice acting there. Anyways, let's go in with it. That's all the settings. So we have normal setting for difficulty. This is the default setting. You can expect to enjoy some challenging battles. And then we have easy for those who obviously aren't familiar either with the genre or this game in particular. Battles will be easier, recommended for players who prefer to focus on the story. That too, which again, I do appreciate for those who just want to focus on story and aren't really in it for like the challenge and all that. That difficulty is there as well. As I said, it's very nice to ease people into the genre and the game itself, and then later down the track you go up to normal and then go for the challenges, so you can play it basically on your own pace. I'm assuming there's an option to unlock hard if you beat the game, like a new game plus and some sort. A lot of JRPGs have that option, so I would expect that at this point. It tends to be a standard with JRPGs, so for the impression, I'll go for normal because it's as I said, it's the default setting, so it's kind of what most people would play with, unless of course you want to chill and have a relaxed time and just enjoy the story. So let's go with that, go normal. And now let's have a look at what the game offers. So my expectations are quite high for this game. This game should be aesthetically very pleasing, which it already is. My god, this is beautiful!
Get a move on, Ollie boy!
Slow down, Mr. Drippy.
But Ding Dong Dell's just down the way.
Huh?
What's his name? Mr. Drippy. I love him already. I love his voice actor too. It's Scottish. I immediately love Scottish voices. And he's also got the enthusiasm and charisma for it as well. God, this just looks like a Studio Ghibli anime. It's beautiful. Not biased, by the way. I haven't actually watched any Studio Ghibli things, but I've seen a lot of their promotional artworks and all that, and I adore all their artworks. You could study it for an art essay. It's just amazing.
Your world.
That's right. A whole nother world. Beautiful, innit?
Alright, well, visuals, 10 out of 10. As I said, it's done by Studio Ghibli, so what do you expect? It's going to be visually aesthetic. Level 5, as I said, I'm so biased. This should be a really good game. Featuring animations by Studio Ghibli Inc. And for those Australians, by the way, I know for a fact that in Netflix Australia, Studio Ghibli has like all of their movies on there, so I have to go on some free time and jump on Netflix and watch all of them. I've never watched a Studio Ghibli movie at all. Yes, put up the pitchforks and all the torchlights and everything and smite me down for that. I know, I feel so bad saying that out loud. Not sure about America and all that, but I do know for the Aussies that we have Studio Ghibli on Netflix, so I thought I might just throw on there too. So it even has the opening of like an animated movie or an anime of some sorts, and again, I really do adore they're treating it as both a video game and more of like, you know, a movie or a work of motion art. It's beautiful. It's poetry in motion almost, and as I said, visually, I don't know what else you want me to say. The cell shading's beautiful, it all works well, the animations are really smooth, and as I said, given that Studio Ghibli worked on this, you have to go in this with a high expectation for visuals. And the music as well is absolutely phenomenal so far. I know I'm talking throughout the whole entire thing, but you can probably like Google a lot of these, like the Ni no Kuni OST or something like that too, and try and pick up on a lot of the music too. Like, it's all very orchestral-like too, and yeah, so far it's just beautiful to listen to. I'm actually going to turn up my headset. Like, a lot of times I have my headset low, so my microphone doesn't pick up what comes out of my headset, but I might need to turn it just slightly up so I can hear it.
Why, good morning, Oliver. Your groceries are over there, honey.
Thanks.
Oh, I almost forgot. Did Philip find you? He said he had something to show you, dear.
Really? So he finally finished it, huh? Do you know where he is right now?
He just stepped out with some deliveries for me. I doubt he'll have gotten far.
Thanks, Miss Layla.
Oh, say hi to your mother for me.
Sure thing, Miss Layla.
I love how it just opens up too with like, you know, the synopsis for like the start. Oh, okay, we actually get the player. Oh! Sorry, I was like expecting, you know, they open it like that and I'm just immediately just got really comfy. I'm like, I'm watching a movie all of a sudden, and then they switch to this, and you know what? There actually isn't too much of a difference between the 2D animation and then going into the 3D world. You know, there is obviously a difference between the, you know, the 2D atmosphere, very cel-shaded. You know, there are a lot of examples recently in modern animation where 2D looks very similar. Like, it can intimidate 3D in a way with very cool perspective and shading and all that. So they've gone for that approach. They've gone for the Studio Ghibli animation approach, and then even going into 3D, it still has that Studio Ghibli feel, but you can still kind of tell it's got its own slight unique identity as well to kind of bring it away that we're actually playing a game. So I kind of like that too.
Over here.
And the voice acting is actually spot on, as I said. I was a little bit worried going to English because, as I said, a lot of time I go into Japanese voice acting all the time. So use left analog stick to walk over to where Philip is standing, approach Philip, and a smiley face will appear. Press X to speak to him. So it's very typical JRPG controls so far. We've got the map. Obviously, all the blue dots I would say is NPCs. The star is our mission, I would say, and the red triangle is us. At the moment, playing as Oliver, and for him carrying something, yeah, he's got a little bit of weight, which is nice. It's to be expected. I mean, you wouldn't be running around with a whole bunch of bags, running around like the speed of the Flash, but yeah.
Good thing you found me. Guess what? She's finally ready.
She's finally ready, mate.
What Miss Layla said? Is it really what I think it is?
What else would it be, dum-dum?
Dum-dum. Sorry, I know that word like that. Dum-dum is something I used to say an awful lot growing up. Whenever someone would be stupid, I'm like, you're a dum-dum. And I haven't said it for years, so just saying that, like, hearing that again, it's just like, oh, my childhood just got reignited again. I'm going to start calling everything dum-dum at this point. I'm so sorry if I start doing that.
Boy, you are something else, Phil. So what do we do now?
What else? We take her for a spin. Tonight.
I still don't know who her is at this point. Is it a machine or is it a car?
I mean...
Is it a plane?
Sure.
Is it a bird?
You go ask your mom. And then when do we do it, huh? Tomorrow? Next year?
Well, No, but...
Grace
Okay,
and balls,
we'll do it
Oliver.
tonight, but we'll have to be real quiet.
Sure we will. Okay, tonight in my garage. Be there or be square.
Sure.
Oh, what happened? We've gone into different perspective.
So, this is the child who will save the world.
Or so says the crystal ball, Your Radiance.
Oh, is this our villain?
The Dark Jinn's power alone will not suffice.
I fear not.
What is the child's name?
Oliver, Your Radiance.
Oliver.
Like, she's so surprised. It's not like Oliver. Huh, not very hero-esque name, I suppose. The mini-map will display at the top right of the screen as you travel around. The map lets you see your intermediate surroundings. Press R1 to switch to the local map, showing an overview of the whole town. The star lets you see where you need to go next. Your first port of call is Oliver's house. So, what was it? There we go, there's... Oh yeah, so Motorville, it's a very small type of village, I would say. So we need to go to Oliver's house, and then we have 3 other houses I'm assuming that we'll go visit. So the easiest way by the looks of it was going down this way. And then we also get to admire a lot of the local surroundings as well. I was just having a look at the shops, because a lot of time in a lot of animations or even just games in general, they like to repeat a lot of buildings or have like empty unnamed buildings just so they save up on a little bit of design work and all that. And it looks like every house or shop is its own individual creation. It makes everything seem somewhat realistic, unique in a way. So that I do like. As I said, I'm going with this with a bit of a high expectation for visuals and design and all that since it is Studio Ghibli.
I got the groceries.
Thanks, sweetie. Just pop them on the table, will you?
Say, Mom.
Did you say something, sweetie?
You're
I did,
kinda
love.
busy tomorrow, huh?
Well, now that you mention it, I do have to practice for my concert in the morning.
Oh, yeah? So, you'll be in bed kinda early, huh?
Why do you ask, love?
Yes, I suppose I will.
I smell a rat.
Oh, you will, huh?
Will you stop being so mysterious and eat your breakfast? You'll be late for school.
And if you keep asking
Before you
questions,
swallow-
I'll ask what's going on. Did you just eat that entire egg whole?
Thanks for breakfast, Mom.
Jesus! Did you just vacuum that up?
See you later, Mom.
Bye, sweetie.
But then again,
You're
I
good
take
now.
3,000 years to eat my food because of my small
will.
appetite. Alright, so a bit of like character development there. School mo. Today's a special day, kiddo. Today's the day our dream machine finally rolls off the drawing board and onto the streets of Motorville. Oh boy, I can't wait. When can I see it? Whoa there, cowboy, not so loud. Don't forget this is our secret. Hey, dum-dum, you didn't tell your mum about it, did ya? No, I did not. I asked her if she was busy and she said she had a concert practice, so she'll be in bed really early. Perfect, then tonight's the night. You still in, kiddo? Sure I am. Tonight's at your garage. I will be there. I can't do a Scottish accent, so I am not even going to try. Alright, so I still don't know what they're referring to, but I think we're just about to find out. She must be asleep by now. Neato! She's out like a light. Now's my chance. I have to get to Phil's garage. So, are we in control? Press triangle to open the main menu. You'll be then presented with a range of options. Using the D-pad to select an option and press X. Having chosen an option, you can return to the menu by pressing the circle. Press it again to return to the game. Additional menu options will become available as you progress through the game. The main menu and press options to save your game. Once you have saved your game, you can select continue from the title screen to restart from the point where you left off. Sweet. So I wonder if it's like exactly where you left off, which is be very handy because sometimes they take you back to checkpoints and all that. Settings, so we can change. Okay, so you can change between easy and normal at any point in the game, which is nice. Camera options, camera left and right. Text speed, you can let's yank that up to max. Vibration, why are you off? Subtitles on. Guiding star. Yep, all that looks pretty good. They're actually pretty nice options, actually. Camera inversion is something that a lot of people like. Some people like it inverted. Me personally, it depends on the game and all that and what other games I've played. If I've just come off playing Like That Was, or as it's known in the American version, Star Fox 64, I tend to go inverted because my brain gets scrambled at that point, and then I eventually go back to normal eventually. Changing difficulty in the fly is quite nice as well, although games tend to lock you in a difficulty once you start a game, and either you can't go up or sometimes you can't go down. Diablo's a big offender of that. You can't go up, but you can go down if you select too high, I guess. And if you change it too low, you can't go back up, which is kind of annoying at times. So there's an example of like where the option to go down is good, but then having no option to go back up is bad. Alright, anyways, but again, Diablo is a completely different ballgame there when it comes to difficulty stuff. Alright, so I'm assuming we're just going straight out the front door. Just no climbing out the window or anything, just straight out the front door. Alright, now we're going to go to Phil's garage. And we're going to find out what... Oh, is this going to be a dead end? Yes, it is a dead end. I thought for a second this would be like Metal Gear Solid, where we try and sneak out and don't get caught by any of the neighbours. Otherwise, they're like, what are you doing now, Solid Boy? Aren't you meant to be sleeping? Anyways, down through here by the looks of it, we have a cutscene. As I love these cutscenes. Well, we've been spied upon.
In here. What are you looking at?
What are you looking at?
What is it with that kid? What kept you, Slowpoke?
Sorry, my mom just wouldn't go to bed. So, is it finished?
Sure is. The last bearing's in, and she's primed for action. Wanna see?
Do I ever?
All right. Here goes nothing.
Okay.
Wow.
It's Back to the Future, baby! It's a car!
You betcha.
So, I wonder what's gonna happen with this car.
The new Coupe Deluxe ain't got nothing on us, Ollie.
It's not even close.
So, you ready to hit the road, kiddo?
Yeah!
I wonder how old Phil is, because it's like, how did a little kid, or if he is a little kid, figure out how to build a car like that? Okay, there's nobody around. We should take her outside now. So, Phil, who gets to drive first? Huh? Let me see now. Tell you what, kiddo, if you run down to the street and make sure the coast is clear, I'll let you go first. You mean that? Oh boy. Okay, wait right here. And watch out for Starry Mary, will ya? Starry Mary? You know, the girl who was spying on us before. I swear that kid is That's so mean! See, there she is again. I bet that tattletale goes straight to her olds. She wouldn't do that. What are you, sweet on her or something? Go check out front already. Sure thing, Phil. I'll be right back. Starey Mary, my god, kids are mean sometimes. Alright, so we're gonna check to see if the coast is clear before I drive this baby. If it even works, that is. Then again, who'd be around at this time of night?
Alright. The coast is clear. I better go tell Phil.
Don't go.
Wait, what?
What? Huh?
Is that Starey Mary?
Please, Oliver. Don't go.
Huh? Who are you? How do you know my name?
Ollie! What's taking you so long?
I'm sorry, Phil. Someone saw me.
Oh, man. Who was it?
Oh, that girl over.
Well,
What are
okay.
you talking about? Huh?
Something
There's nobody
otherworldly?
That's
Well,
weird.
obviously this is foreshadowing at this
She's
point.
right there. A girl.
A girl, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I bet it was that dumb, Starey Mary. Oh, no. Couldn't be. She's not allowed out. You must be going screwy or something. Anyway, come on.
Oh,
This kid's mean. Calls Starey Mary obviously, and calls her cracked. And now calls us crazy.
Oliver, the boy who will save the world. But unfortunately for him, his light is yet a mere candle in the blackness.
Indeed.
Why does
He
that
may
sound
be
like
a
something
child
straight out of
the
Kingdom
Christ of
Hearts?
God, but he is a child nonetheless.
Yet these humans can be disturbingly powerful. Did the other's darkness not engulf the land entirely? Might this one not prove equally tenacious?
What would you have me do, Your Radiance?
Such saplings must not be suffered to grow.
Very well, Your Radiance.
Oh, I was like, I like this bird, and all of a sudden he just like gets these really menacing red eyes. It's like, oh,
This doomed world
evil parrot.
must die.
Now, if you add snakes to the end of her hair, she's a bit like Medusa. Something's gonna happen here, and she wakes up.
help me!
Was that spirit who was telling Oliver not to go suddenly just pretend to be Oliver's voice
Sweetie?
in order to wake up his mum? If there's some witchcraft like that, then that's incredible.
Where are you? Oliver?
Like other forces trying to prevent Oliver from whatever's going to happen next.
Oliver?
You're kind of busy tomorrow, huh?
Well, now that you mention it, I do have to practice for my concert in the morning.
Oh, yeah? So, you'll be in bed kind of early, huh?
So that's why that brat asks so many questions. She's like,
Oliver.
so what, they're going to drive the car at insane speeds and then they teleport to another world? Like, just like Back to the Future?
Would you listen to her purr? Ready? Take it slow to start with, okay?
Yep, got it!
All right.
I still want to know how this kid built the car. It's got clutch and everything.
Wow. We have liftoff! Whoa!
Here comes the speed. The next I'm expecting is ping. Well, okay, the wheel fell off. Oh. Well, he didn't teleport into another world, but he did teleport into the water. Mate, you didn't secure those wheels properly.
Ollie! Ah!
Oliver? Philip, what happened?
It's Ollie!
Oliver!
God, Philip's useless. He went down the hill, sprained his ankle. He's like, I can't do anything.
Oliver? Oliver, wake up.
You're grounded for a year, mister.
Oh, sweetie, I'm so glad you're okay.
I'm sorry, Mom.
I'm sorry. I swear, if I'd known, I never would have.
Don't be silly, Phil. What about your car?
That hunk of junk, I can make another one in no time.
Well, I think you two have had quite enough excitement for one day.
Yes, ma'am. Ja!
Are you okay, Phil?
Must have twisted my ankle back there.
Whatever will you children get up to next?
What the?
Allie,
Allie?
are you okay?
Mom? What's wrong?
Oh my.
She always did.
Someone called 911.
I'll fetch the doctor.
She's having a heart attack. Well, that's a bit of a dark twist for an intro. Bloody hells. Kid nearly drowns. Mum's gonna have a heart attack. After the kid lied to him. It lied to her.
Mom.
You'll be okay.
Now she can't go to a concert. My God. A domino or the butterfly effect, more like.
For me.
Is she gonna die?
Mom?
Wait.
Mom? Mom!
Is this FMA? Am I now watching Full Metal Alchemist?
No! Don't leave me.
I'm sorry, but when I signed up to do this impression, I assumed this was going to be a bright and colourful story. Not in the first, what, 30 minutes, we've already got a death. And a pretty tragic one at that.
Sacrificing herself to save her child.
And yet, thanks to her, the boy lives.
Of course. But shorn of his mother's love, to whom can he now turn for guidance? And soon he will come to our world, where our powers are strongest.
Very good, Your Radiance.
Let us see how this story unfolds. I'm sure the ending will be engaging.
She kind of reminds me of the villain from Super Paper Mario, the Wii game. The villain has like a bit of a cape like that too. It's really cool. Alright, so, well, now we've really got our development going on here. There has to be something, like that'll be the trigger for it.
Leave it here for you.
Now let's see how he gets from the human world to wherever she is. Now that she's like foreshadowing it and everything. A lot of foreboding going on at the moment. Twisted? Looks like it's broken. Guy's in a crutch and a cast. Kitty cat.
Now, you'll just have to wait until dinner, Timmy told him. Oh, it's so sad. He's been in there 3 whole days now.
Hey, he looks familiar. Isn't that Mr. Drippy that we just saw at the beginning?
Oliver, Mummy starts her new job today, but she's asked someone very special to take care of you. Mummy spent a long time making him. I'm sure he'll look after you very well. Be good while Mummy's away, okay?
Mommy.
Is something wrong, sweetie?
Just come back soon, okay?
Of course, sweetie. We'll always be together, Oliver. Always. Always.
That's got to be a little bit haunting for a kid.
Come back.
Oh, here comes our trigger.
blasted, is it? Tidy! I'm free! Free!
Huh? What just happened?
You just witnessed the rebirth of Drippy, Lord of the Fairies.
Who?
What, are you deaf or something? Drippy, Lord of the Fairies, I said, didn't I?
Drippy.
That's right, and I'm sick to the teeth of you a snivelling and moaning. A proper crybaby bunting you are. 3 days, man. I mean, I've been sad before, but crying for 3 whole days? I'm surprised there's a drop of water left in you. You're a big boy, man. 3 days is, well, it's unheard of.
What?
Oh dear, bit flummoxed, are we? Bit lost for words. Not to worry, man, I got all the answers. Oh, but prepare yourself. Explaining all this is going to take a while. Ready?
Don't worry, Drippy, you can explain away. I'm just so mesmerized by the voice actor for Drippy. He's just so good.
Tidy. I like your style. Very honest, and you stay that way, okay? Take you far, it will.
Alright, so we're gonna get the backstory, and like all of this, I'm just as confused at the moment.
Okay.
See, it's like this, see? What it is there's more worlds out there than this one by here. There's what
Kingdom
we might
Hearts,
call
in other words.
Parallel worlds, see? They're like worlds along by the side of your one. And one of those worlds is my world. That's right, a whole nother world.
Another world?
That's quick you are. And I, that is the Lord of the Fairies, the reason I'm by here in this world of yours, well, it's because there's a proper bad apple trying to upset the peace of both our worlds, see? Shadar, the Dark Djinn, his name is, and what he did was, he took over people's hearts and spread war and ruin all over our world. Tried to stand up to him, I did, and he turned me into a flippin' doll and kicked
A
me
flippin'
out of our
doll.
world and into yours, the rotter.
The rotter.
And then you went and cried all over me, and poof, the curse was lifted, just like that. Which makes me think you must be the one we fairies call the pure-hearted one. The one the legends say will save our world. Just goes to show you can't judge a book by its cover, eh? So, anyway, that means I better get you over to our world and have you get rid of Shadar for us. All right with you?
Me? But how can
That's
I...
a bit of a
Don't
mouthful.
fret, man. It's a big responsibility, I know, but you'll be all right, especially with me to help you.
But I...
Oh, want me to ask properly, do you? Fair dues.
What?
Fidus.
Oh, pure-hearted one, will you please come and save our world?
Oliver's just like, what? It's like, alright, I'll do a proper ask, I guess. Fair dues. Now, would you come to my world?
Sorry, I must have misheard you. What did you say? Go on once more, but louder.
I won't do it.
What?
I can't do it.
This is why they say never work with children. I ask nicely, and you give me a hearty, yes, sir. That's how this works, see? That would be swell, you say. It's just how these things are done. It's tradition. How am I supposed to work with this? It's like he's never read a story in his life.
I don't know anything about
What
it.
is... I bit my tongue!
I just can't right now.
I was trying my best not to,
Because
like,
your mum dropped dead.
piss myself laughing, and I bit my tongue in the process.
Photo of her. Hurry up, will you? I haven't got all day.
Oh,
I love this character. He's so direct and straight, like very blunt and straight to the point. It's brilliant. I love him.
Blimey. It can't be. But then it can't be a coincidence, neither.
what is it?
The great sage Alicia. Then we might just be able to save your mum.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Oh, just
You ready
another
for
plot
another
comes
UFO?
up now.
Yeah.
The souls of people in your world and my world are connected, which means people from over by here have another version of themselves over by there, called a soulmate, see? And people with soulmates can even look like each other. Now, your mum, well, she shared a soul with the great sage Alicia. A proper talent she was.
Huh? So my mom was a sage? But how does that help us save her?
Well, Alicia tried to take on the Dark Djinn, but his power was too much for her, and he trapped her in this dark jewel called the Soul Snare. When that happened, then the link between hers and your mum's souls would have been cut off.
Is that why
You
she
could
had a
free
weak
Alicia.
heart?
Just might fix the link, and who knows, it might even bring your mum back.
Is that really true?
I can't be sure now, but it's possible, yeah.
If the soulmate was weakened, then it would explain the poor
How do you know
health
all this, Mr.
of
Phil?
Oliver's mum in the real world,
doll this
because
whole
if
time.
those connections are shared, wouldn't
now
that
there's
be
clever.
some way of
Good
like sharing
question,
life
that.
force?
It's like this,
Life
see?
force, I
I'm
wonder.
not the only fairy. Even though I was stuck by here, my buddies were keeping me abreast of all the goings on over there. How?
My butties.
What you might call
Buddies.
telepathy. And that's
And
not
Scottish say
all. I was
butties.
sending my lordly orders back over there too, having them spy on Shadar and that, you know, tidy, huh? Hmm? What is it?
I'll do it. I'll come to your world. I'll come with you and save my mom.
Oh, that's marvellous! You might be doing it for all the wrong reasons, but if it saves our world, I won't look a gift horse in the mouth. Tidy! We better get going then. Chop chop!
Okay. But how do we get to your world?
Oh, curious, are we? Alright, I'll tell you. First thing we need is a drop of magic. Go and have a dig around in the fireplace. There's something hidden there so nosy Parkers won't find it.
But why would anybody hide something in there?
That's for me to know and you to find out. Look, Riley.
No reason, just gotta hide it. There probably is a reason we're about to find out. A spellbook in the fireplace, go check it out. Alright, where's the fireplace? Well, that'd be in the living room, wouldn't it? That'd be, I think, out here? Alright, let's have a look at this year's spellbook.
What could be hidden in a place like this?
A mighty spell book.
Huh? A book? But it would burn in there.
Not this book. The Wizard's Companion laughs in the face of fire. Wouldn't be much of a spell book if it didn't now, would it?
Really?
Aha, gotcha.
This is a spell book?
That there is the Wizard's Companion, the fount of all wizarding knowledge.
The Wizard's Companion.
You obtained the Wizard's Companion. Well, this has to be some type of equipment. Now listen up, I'm going to teach you what's what in that Wizard Companion of yours. If you want to have a read of it, press triangle to open up main menu. You should see it down at the bottom right of there. Then you just need to choose it with X, and you can leaf through the Wizard Companion of your heart's content. Take a minute or two to have a skim of a few pages, eh? You look like a smart lad, so I'm sure you'll soon get into it. Oh, I almost forgot. The first thing you have to do when you get your hands on the Wizard Companion is to make a pledge. You need to vow that you'll do all you can to be worthy of being a wizard. Don't be so flippin' worried. It's not hard. All you have to do is write your name in that book with an open, honest heart. And if you don't even have to write Oliver, if you don't want to, you can write Bunton, Crybaby, or whatever you like. It's important to think that you mean it. Go on, scribble your name down. Alright, well, we'll scribble my, what's the lowercase? That's going like that. Options? No! Not K! No! Let's share, what? Or am I just blind? No? What the hell? Oh, wait. There we go. I'm still not used to that rectangle button being the big button, in the middle smack bang of my controller. I want... Oh, my lord, how many? Oh no! Oh, no! How do I go back? I can't, can I? Next. There we go. I'm like, did I just miss it again? It's any problem when you got two capitals in your name. And there we go. Confirm. There we go. You have taken the Wizard's Pledge and are now privy to the timeless wisdom of the Wizard's Companion. I wonder if we're going to dive into the actual story soon, because there's a lot of, like, actual dialogue at the moment, which I don't mind, because this needs, you know, it's got to play out like an actual movie. And a lot of, you know, world building and all that. And then I would imagine after that's done, we'll get into it, or is there probably a lot of story, I wonder? As I said, I don't mind, because that was kind of made clear to me at the very beginning where the difficulty was. It's probably going to be very story-driven. So if you're not a fan of that, then maybe this won't be the game. I'm assuming there is a way of, like, skipping cutscenes, but I want to kind of experience the cutscenes personally, because, as I said, I reckon if you don't experience the cutscenes and the story, it might take away from this game, considering it is a Studio Ghibli game, and they tend to focus quite heavily on story. And if story, judging from difficulty, is their main focus, then if you take that away, then maybe the rest of the game may not be as up there. But as I said, we'll find out when we actually get into the game. You mean there's one hidden somewhere around here, like the spell book? Ha! You're having a laugh if you think I'm gonna make it that easy, man. What do you think I am? Made of wizarding equipment? Now this one's going to be a little more difficult, but your journey over to my world is a hunt for the soul snare, among other things. So why don't you treat this as a warm-up, the Easter egg hunt before the wild goose chase, if you will. The huh? Okay, I guess. Okay, I'm lying. The thing is, I never brought a wand with me. I mean, look at me, the price of my lovability is my small stature, ain't it? I only just managed to carry that flippin' book, man. Any more and I'd be crushed. So even fairies tell lies, huh? Of course they do. Us fairies are incognable liars. Anyway, no point crying over spilled milk. Let's find ourselves a substitute, shall we? A substitute? How can there be a substitute for a magic wand? Well, if you can find something brown and sticky. That's an old joke. Brown and sticky. Like maybe a stick. Maybe we'll just be able to muddle through. Okay. You sure a stick will work? Do you think I'm sending you up a garden path or something? Fine, I'll give you a hand. Follow me, Bunton. So we gotta follow Tippy, I'm assuming. What are you looking at? Don't you tell me thinking of using this lamppost as a flippin' wand. Well, you can cut that out for a start. It's way too flippin' big. We need a stick or something like that, ain't it? Why don't you go have a look around over there? Okay. Okay, we've gotta find a stick. So, yeah, we gotta follow Tippy around and he should find us something. This one might proper tidy motor, hey? Might get myself one of these. Sorry, not really the time, is it? There ain't nothing wand-like over by here either. Let's go and look over the other side, shall we? Okay. Oh, and you want to find something, don't forget to pop it in your bag for safekeeping. So look out for the top left of the main menu, you'll see your bottomless bag. In there you'll find all of your items nicely sorted into different categories. There's handy. Use L1 and R1 to shift between the categories. Of course, there ain't much to see at the moment, but when you've got loads of stuff, you'll be glad of it. A bit of order, ain't it? Anyway, next time you pocket a tidy item, be sure to have a closer look at it in your bottomless bag. Put it in my bag, sure. Alright, so the bottomless bag, or our bag for items, is now accessible. Alright, now Tippy is now going to follow us. So I guess at the moment just follow our marker, and that should lead us to where we should look for a stick or a wand. Keep my eye out for items as well that we might be able to pick up. It's no use. There's nothing around here that looks like a wand. You're not wrong, Bunton. Alright, we better split up then. Broaden the search like. I'll go and take another quick look around your house. You stay by here and head up the outside search, okay? Okay. Okay, brown and sticky, brown and sticky. Oliver, huh? Oh, it's you. It's that spirit, that girl who told us not to go.
You're the little girl I met before, huh?
Mm-hmm. We met before.
So, how do you know who I am?
I'm really, really sorry, Oliver.
Huh?
Your mummy. I'm sorry. I couldn't save her.
Huh? Why would you be sorry for that?
I wanted to save her. I really did.
I wonder if that's Oliver's soulmate.
Where are you?
But they said they could look identical, they had to be identical.
Boy, why are you talking to thin air?
Mr. Drippy, she disappeared again.
Huh? Who did?
That strange girl. That's the second time she tried to talk to me.
What's that? A girl? Where?
I'm still trying to figure out who this voice actor is. I swear to God, I've heard him from somewhere else.
How could you? She disappeared into thin air.
Well, anyway, there's something I want to ask you.
There is? Sure, go ahead.
Do you mind it? You know, having a sidekick, like.
Huh? A sidekick? Who do you mean?
Crikey, that's cold.
Crikey.
What do you mean, he says? Why not stab me in the heart while you're at it? I mean me! I wanted to know if it was alright me joining you on your adventures. Or if you were maybe wanting to trade me in for a younger, prettier model. But it looks like I got my answer, huh? Well,
I
so
love
you
Drippy.
don't have faith in people
Hey, I
who never
want.
see their true worth. And what's more?
Look at this.
Huh?
It was on the ground, right where that girl was standing.
Chuck it here then. Ta. Well,
Ta,
I'd
mate.
be a monkey's uncle.
I'd be a monkey's uncle.
A real wand?
come over by here and take a look, man. It might seem like any old stick, but it's got all magic writing on it, see?
It does, huh? Wow. Is that how people ride in
Isn't it a bit weird you just find that laying on the ground? Wouldn't it be a little bit inconspicuous? It's just dropped by this spirit that keeps trying to talk to you?
It's a beauty.
Or if it's not Oliver's soulmate, then it's probably going to be
Luckier than you know.
Shada? It was called, like the villain. I wonder if that's a trap
Maybe
to like lure him over to the other world. It's gotta be something. There'd be like no reason why they just stick this girl out of like in the middle of like for you to see and all that. I don't even know what the sentence was. My brain just like was concentrating what was going on there and then trying to figure out what I'm trying to say. You need somewhere proper massive.
You need space to give it oomph, see?
Do we really need that much oomph?
Yeah, what kind of question is that? Magic is special, innit? It's sacred, right? You have to cast spells in the best environment possible. You really are new to this, aren't you? This is beginner stuff we're talking about here.
Oh, sorry.
Now, take me somewhere with plenty of space. There's got to be somewhere around by here.
The town square, I guess.
Alright, so we've now got to walk over to the town square and then we can use the wand. And that should be the right environment to cast a gateway or a portal to this new world. I wonder if the cars stop if you like run in front of them. That I could test, I guess, for like how Oliver interacts with the world. Yeah, they do stop. Just curious. I mean, they do. Then again, in Digimon Cyber Sleuth, there is an area with cars, but I think they're just programmed to stop there anyways. They actually don't continue moving.
We should be doing this here?
No worries, man. Normal people can't see magic, see? Go on, Ollie boy. Cast gateway.
How do I do that, sir? Oh, okay, so I do it. So everyday spells, MP 0, gateway. Elements none, effects shape none. Opens a doorway that transports the caster between worlds. So spell number 2, we have 12 MP. Okay, so we have 35 health, 12 mana, and we're level 1. Alright, let's cast away. I was wondering what those symbols were in the corner of the loading screen.
That's it, man. You got it.
All of a sudden, he's Harry Potter and can cast spells like at the flick of a finger.
Whoa.
Then again, if casting spells was that easy, then a child... Oh yeah, he is a child. It was like a child could do it. That was a lame joke. But this is pretty. I'm curious to see now what this world... Oh my... That's very pretty. I want that now. Oh, animals can see... They always say animals can sense otherworldly beings. That's just a general thing I hear an awful lot. Like, if a dog randomly starts barking, it's because they've seen something... Well, I mean, it's conspiracy in a way, I guess, that dogs can see otherworldly things, but who knows what dogs see? They tend to see or hear things that humans can't, so... Same with children, they tend to be more open to things like that as well. I could be rambling on here about, as I said, the paranormal and conspiracy stuff, but, you know, I just love how they just reference that the animal was a bit more in tune with magic and all that. It was basically how I got onto that point. Alright, now I get to experience the actual game, I think. As I said, I don't mind the story. Whoa, here we are. Okay, we're back to where we were at the beginning. Okay, that makes sense.
Right. Let's get going, shall we?
Huh? Hey, wait for me! So this is your world.
Ah, home at last. But there's a tidy way to go yet.
Hey, Mr. Drippy, that was pretty neat just now, huh?
Oh, that herd of elk. Enjoy your first encounter with the majestic wildlife of our mysterious world.
I don't think he was talking about the... Oh, he was? The gateway was bloody awesome.
Jeepers.
Oh, Nick,
It's a
where did you
Yerpa.
spring from?
Ah! What do we do?
He's not like the big softies just now. He's itching for a fight. Proper savage.
Okay, so we get the... You learn attack mechanics now.
You got for there. Give him a whacking and send him packing.
Give him a whacking with the stick. No!
Ah!
Look lively. He's making his move.
Alright, here we go. What's the the battle mechanics like? Roof. Is that the monster's name? Roof? It is. So we attack with X. Okay, so it's just like a JRPG, like your typical JRPG mechanics. So you got attack, defend, provisions, I would say, is spells, and run away. So if you're familiar with any other JRPG, Digimon's the same. You got your basic attack, then you got defend, which is a way of defending. It would reduce damage dealt to the character. Provisions, aka, is your spells, or your, you know, your big fancy moves, where you call upon the thunder and the hurricanes and all that. I really don't know where I was going with that. I made that sound so dramatic, but it failed. But anyways, stuff like that, and then run away. So that's cool. So don't fret, Ollie boy. Let your old pal Drippy talk you through the basics of battle. First off, yeah, we got our usual UI for attack, our HP, our level, our MP, and of course who it is. If we have allies, I'm assuming they will go underneath. And then down the bottom, showing all the moves, would have the character that we're controlling. I wonder though if it's going to be like a time-based thing, or if it's just going to be turn-based. That's what I'm going to be curious about. I'll skip through this. The blue gauge is obviously MP. Don't worry about magic for now, man. Let's talk about beasties first, shall we? So rough, we get to see the enemy's icon, the name, and the HP. What's that little icon though? Is that their attribute or something? The red gauge shows their HP. Get that down to nothing, you won. And then, okay, just don't talk about that, okay? And these speech bubble thingies down here are the commands that you use in battle. Well, that's enough going by. Try giving the rotter a smack with your stick. Just use the D-pad and select attack, confirm your choice with X, and Bob's your uncle. Rightio, get cracking with the whacking. Alright, so cheers the enemy. Tiny! Or should I say nice? That's what you say when you find an enemy's weak spot or block at a big attack, see? Oh, and look at that, you dropped something. You best pick it up, eh? Can I? Oh, I can. Okay, so it's not like I stand in one spot, I do move around. So that's what's known as a glim, Ollie boy. Enemies drop that in the heat of battle. Green glims is like, store your HP, okay? Similar to Kingdom Hearts, again, they dropped green stuff for HP. And blue ones give you MP back instead. Same color as the gauge, see, tidy? Oh, and you almost give your HP and MP a boost with spells and items, ain't it? Of course, you'll have to take my word for that. What with you not having any at the mo. Okie dokie, that's enough for me. It's time for you to practice what I preach. Go on, boy, Batch. Give him what's for. Oh! Alright, so we just took that out. So experience none. Okay, we did get experience. We got 4 halfway through level 1. And we got 3 gold for that. A little bit slow on that screen, but I wonder if that's just for like tutorial's sake.
Jeepers creepers.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, our world is absolutely riddled with beasties. But keep that up and you'll have nothing to worry about. Right, let's get a move on, shall we?
So it's gonna be grinding.
But where are we going?
Well, first off, we need to get you a wand.
But I already have a wand.
You're having a laugh, aren't you? That thing's about as magical as a flipping cabbage. You might just squeeze a gateway spell out of it, but you can forget about anything more than that. Honestly, I wish you'd think before you open your mouth.
Oh, so we've just been brought to a new world and we're expected to know all this stuff.
If we're very lucky, we might find
Oh, as I said, I love him.
So, are wands really so hard to find here?
Well, time was you couldn't move for the flipping things. But since Shadar showed up, magic's taken a real nosedive. He banned people from using it, see? Cursed anyone who tried to. He scared them all so much they gave it up.
So, he's pretty scary, huh?
Well, he turned me into a flipping doll, didn't he? Just saying his name's enough to make most folks brick it. Still, I'd rather be a doll than have him go poking round in my heart. No one wants to be broken-hearted.
No, no one does. Being broken-hearted. That must mean something else.
Sad?
Worse than that, much worse. It's when he steals a piece of a person's heart. Poor beggars don't know whether they're alive or dead. That's no way to live, man.
So that's
Poor
why
beggars as in poor buggers? I'm pretty sure that's what he's meant to say, because he says flippin' instead of obviously something else.
Letting him, is it? It's not like people flipping enjoy it. That's why I brought you here, innit? You might just be able to stop him, see?
You really think I can?
Course you can! You are the pure-hearted one! And the legends say that the pure-hearted one will drive away the darkness. We'll teach you a few tasty spells and you'll be ready to face him in no time. Sound good to you?
Okay, I'll do it. I'll learn magic.
Oliver's so easy to convince, isn't he?
And that's why we need to find you a better wand.
All right. Let's head for Ding Dong Dell.
Tidy.
Now that I'm listening to it, I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of Oliver's voice actor. Because, like, when he said alright, it sounded very monotone in a way. Like, I don't know if that's what they were going for, have a kid very, you know, cautious of what he was doing. He was saying, you know, alright, instead of, like, the enthusiasm of alright. You know, you think going on an adventure, there'd be a bit more enthusiasm, but I'm not sure in this case they're going for a bit more of a, you know, cautious, timid approach with Oliver. I mean, he seems very timid in a way, very cushioned, padded in a way, like, yeah, very much timid and scared, so, I don't know, like, characteristic-wise so far, yeah, it sort of fits, but when you compare it to the voice actor of Mr. Tippy or Tippy, it seems so out of place. Because Tippy's all over, you know, charismatic, wow, I can't say that tonight. What is going on? Charismatic, that's the word. I can't say it tonight. He's very charismatic in the way he talks. There's a lot of enthusiasm. It's very alive. It's bombastic. You know, there's a lot of excitement. You want to listen to it. I could listen to a podcast from the voice actor for Tippy. He is amazing. Like, I don't want to actually speak. That's why I'm being very quiet when he's, like, talking, because it's like I want to absorb that in. I want to absorb the voice actor. I want to be involved. I want to take it all in, like a sponge. I absorb it all, but then when I listen to Oliver, I feel kind of bored. I'm like, shut up and go back to Tippy. So I don't know if that's just the way they designed Oliver to be very monotonish in a way. He's not a lot of, as I said, not a lot of enthusiasm. So I hope that's just for choice of character and that will develop over time. He gets a bit more bombastic in his voice, gets more enthusiastic, and just not, alright, let's go. And instead of that going, alright, let's go! Or not like that bombastic, but, you know, a bit more enthusiasm in it, but not overly enthusiastic in a way, because then if it's too enthusiastic, then yeah, it would kind of break the whole character development of like being timish and a little bit on the smallish side. So, I don't know, I'm a bit torn on that. I understand it, but at the same time, I also kind of don't like it. But I'll see what you guys think about that. If you said you'll have a fight. I missed that. What was the first fight? Run out of HP. I don't think that might have been for like wild enemies. If you sneak up on an enemy behind without them notice, you get the first hit in. Okay, so typical JRPG stuff, first attack. For those who watch Paper Mario, be familiar with that. The only thing is it works the other way around too, so the enemy could do the same thing to us. They get the first strike. Oh yeah, here's a little something. Consider it a gift from the Lord High Lord of the Fairies. 3 loaves of white bread. Oh, I can't stand white bread. That will be for recovery. Thanks, but what do I do with these? Just have a munch on them when you're feeling a bit ropey and you'll be right as rain in no time, man. But a wizard cannot live by bread alone, Ollie boy. He needs a proper wand and all, and that knobbly thing in your hand is doing my flippin' head in. See that big castle to the north? That's Ding Dong Dell, that is. I reckon we'll find ourselves a one by there, so let's get moving, shall we? Okay. And this would have to be an item, so you obtain a bunch of booster shoots. And there are items down there. I love the vistas at the moment, like the landscape. It's vibrant, it's colourful, it really suits the game. As I said, it's the Studio Ghibli design that... Oh, I did not see that. So the enemies, as I said, I was like too busy admiring the landscape that I completely missed that. I actually did. Alright, I gotta keep an eye on like the timer thing. If I want to move, I need to watch that and then figure out from there when I can like run away from enemies. Yeah, this screen's a little too slow for my liking, so I wish that was kind of sped up just a wee little bit. I mean, it's great for like taking a wee bit of a break, but if you want for like grinding and momentum, it's a little too slow. My god, that enemy can run. Alright, let's actually head in the direction of the castle, and that way that might lead us to like a nice place. Whoa, that enemy saw me from a good distance. So they're not weak enemies, they can see you from quite a big distance. And they run for a little while too. Another thing I've just noticed, like just looking at the perspective in scale of the bridge to Oliver and the castle, it kind of looks like that. I think the best example would be the Final Fantasy, the older Final Fantasy games, where when you're in the overworld, everything's kind of scaled down so you can see everything and have an easier perspective of what's around you in the landscape. This is what it automatically makes me think of, is those overworlds. When you're running around with it, everything's scaled down, you can see what's around a little bit easier, and instead of having like honking big landscapes or honking big towns and you can't see what's behind or anything like that. So I do appreciate that as well. Oh, Nickers, there's something I forgot to tell you. What's that, Mr. Drippy? Here in my world, you can use the right analog stick to change your viewpoint. If you're having any trouble with the controls, go to settings in your main menu and fiddle with them. You can switch vibration on and off there as well, ain't it? Speaking personally, I have it on. Rumble just ain't a rumble. Oh, hold on. A rumble just ain't a rumble without a bit of rumble, is it? Well, that was a sentence and a half. But yeah, I love vibration on every game. Now, I know that that's a lot to take in, Ollie boy, but I'm sure you get used to it. I guess. Alright, so Ding Dong Dell. I love the location name, Ding Dong Dell. It reminds me of something like a Wizard of Oz or something like that. Or Mary Poppins. Something's up. He had a bit of a rough night.
To me, like a classic case of broken-heartedness.
Broken-heartedness? You mean that thing you were talking about before?
That's right.
You sure he just didn't have a bit of Sunday sauce?
Stolen. Poor souls just aren't themselves. Go all weird and useless, they do.
So his heart was broken by...
Keep up, will you? Shadar, innit? If anyone tries to stand up to him or does anything...
All the Sunday sesh, as we call it here in Oz.
So they can't put up a fight.
Jeepers. But if he stays that way, we can't get into Ding Dong Dell.
And you better cure him, ain't it, Ollie boy? It's time to mend your first broken heart. Mend it, but how do I do that? Well, you can't just do it just yet. There's a couple of things we'll be needing first. But I know an old man who's just got well. Got just what we need. Proper useful, I am, eh? An old man? What old man? What do you mean, what old man? The old man, ain't it? Lives in the wood to the north of here. Proper deep and dark. Deeply dark it is. That's why it's called Deep Dark Wood. Makes sense, I guess. Alright, so we're out of here. There's not much we can do until we go to Deep Dark Wood. And that, where would that be exactly? That would be to the west, northwest. So, without further ado, let us trot on off to the northwest to Deep Dark Wood. And let's do a couple of enemy encounters. We've already done Rolf. So what's this enemy? This is... Oh, he looks cute. It's a unicorn sheep. It's a bartender. Bartender. I love it. And then Rolf isn't like an onomatopoeia for wolf, that you know, the sound that a dog makes. Bartender. Love it. I love some of the names. Ding Dong Delve. I did that too soon. Alright, run away. Ow! That hurt. That hurt. There we go. Bartender went down. Oh, I missed the HP and the MP. We should grow a level? Yeah, level up. What do we get for level ups? We got 1 gold. Awesome. Okay, so it's a bit like Pokemon where like stats just grow. I wonder if that's random or if that's set. So attack went up by 2, magic attack went up by 3, accuracy went... Oh, accuracy? Okay, that's its own stat in this game. MP went up by 3, HP up by 6, defense up by 1, magic defense by 1, evasion by 2. Evasion, a boot. Normally that means speed. So I wonder if speed's got anything to do with evasion. Alright, so it did roof, and we did bartender. I'm going the wrong way, ain't I? Alright, up this way. I probably should put the rotating map on. I was gonna say, what's that? Let's have a look at this monster, won't we? Sleepy fowl. Sleepy fowl. Oh, I missed. Nice. Sleepy fowl. I'm trying to, like, figure out the pun to that. Nice. That's gone. Move. I always forget you can still kind of move at the end of it to grab HP. Alright, bit more experience there. Only a wee little bit of experience. As I said, this is so slow. I will say that. You know, the momentum of actually battling, going to battles, and then you end it, it's so slow. It just feels so out of place with the rest of the game, because everything is moving quite quick. Menus move quick because I've turned text speed on fast, and then you finish a battle and it's just like, come on, come on, come on. Oh, that actually caught me. Or did I get stuck on something? The enemy, oh yeah, because I got stuck on something and bartender got first strike. Oh, oh, that still managed to hit me. I haven't had a critical hit for a little while. Oh, I didn't drop anything. Alright, so HP and MP is not a guaranteed thing. That's what I thought it might be. Oh, you can skip this, alright. I was like mashing the X button to see if that could speed up. Still, you'd think you wouldn't have to mash, but whoa, that's coming at me. That's a new enemy too. Oh, minor bird. No, I think that's bird. Yeah, like bird. Almost like a Scottish, it sounds Scottish accent to it. I think that's how you would pronounce it. I missed. There we go. Nice. Alright, so I'm probably going to end it when we hopefully cure the broken heartness, because I think that's going to be like a main mechanic for this game. So I would like to show that off at least before I end this first impression. So hopefully it's not going to drag on too much. If it does feel like it's going to drag on a little too much, I might need to end it prematurely before actually showing that off. Hopefully not. So anyways, a deep dark wood. I kind of feel, oh, okay, this might be dungeon-esque. If that's the case, we might need to show off a little bit then. I kind of feel for this one because of how story-driven it is. I have not spoken all that much. Look at that, it's a waystone. That's useful. A waystone? Yeah, man. There's those ancient stones, see? You can use them to store a record of your adventures so far. In wild places like forest and so on, you can't just plonk yourself on the nearest rock and write your own story down. But why not? Why not, he says. Give me strength, man. Because they're crawling with horrible beasties, ain't it? They are? That sounds kind of scary. You'll get used to it, man. Just remember, you can't go recording your progress any old way. Allow me to explain a little more. Touch a waystone and your health and magic power will be fully restored. Not bad, eh? And that's not all, man. There's little beauties also let you save your progress. A traveler's best friend they are. Which is why you should stop at every waystone you see and make good use of it. Better safe than sorry, ain't it? Sure, Mr. Drippy. Tidy, that's what I'd like to hear. Let's hope you're as good as your word. Rightio, next stop, the old man of the woods. Okay, so we get to be introduced to saving. The HP and MP are completely restored. I'm having issues reading at the moment. Always a thing. Cool, so as I said, very Kingdom Hearts-esque, but as I said, I think a lot of games just tend to share that type of thing anyways. Music already sounds quite tense, atmospheric. I like. And it's still kind of orchestral in a way, so it's not quite as like full-on atmospheric like Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. So as I say, I'm not going to say the whole entire title.
Mr. Drippy! Wait for me!
Who goes there?
Is this the old man?
Ollie boy, meet old Father Oak. How do, you a leafiness?
Oh, Drippy, it's you. And to what do I owe the pleasure?
Well, I got a visit.
Level 5 loves their talking trees. Dark Cloud has one as well. I just had flashbacks to Dark Cloud for a second.
You only ever come to see me when you are in need.
Sorry, you tall ship. You know I'm always very grateful.
This boy.
Ah, spotted it. Did you bark ship?
Well. The pure-hearted one. He who will drive out the darkness. And Drippy, you mean to...
That's right, your ancient ship. We're off to give Shadar a right royal hiding.
You? Why? As reckless as ever, I see. Very well. You shall have my aid. But first, we had better give the boy a familiar, had we not?
Familiar as in like a yokai?
Oh, yeah. Clean forgot I did. He's right, Ollie boy. It might be a bit early, but I suppose we better teach you how to conjure up familiars, innit?
Familiars?
Yeah, familiars. You're in our world, you can magic up little fighting creatures from your heart, see? They're called familiars. Where we're going, the beasties are only going to get bigger and meaner.
I swear Little Town Hero also used familiars for their monsters too.
Or tentacle.
Can I really do it?
But then again, they always say familiars for a lot of like otherworldly creatures, or as they're known in like Japanese folklore, yokai.
Your wizard's companion,
Or,
and turn to
yeah,
page
the actual game
marked
yokai.
Familiar.
But Mr. Drippy, there's no spell named Form Familiar here. Your what? The boy is correct. Look at his wizard's companion. It would seem that is missing more than a few of its pages. Really, really? Knickers. So that mean I can't cast a spell? Ho ho ho, I am not as powerless as all that, young man. Oliver, was it? Let me see now. Form Familiar. Ah, yes. A gift from me to you, young Oliver. A page! A page! Just drips it from, like, the top of his tree trunks. A couple of leaves and bark was sacrificed for that. Right, you received the page describing the Form Familiar spell. Thank you very much, Old Father Oak. But simply possessing the page for a particular spell is no guarantee that you will be able to make use of it. Some spells are simply not meant for certain wizards, such is life. Don't worry about for now, man. Just give Form Familiar a go, will ya? Sure thing, Mr. Drippy. Alright, so 0 MP again. It's got no element, no effect shape. Summons forth a familiar from the caster's heart to fight beside them. Wonder what our familiar's going to be. A dog? A cat? A bird? A dragon? Ooh, one can dream.
That's tidy work, Ollie boy. Look at that. A warrior from your very
A goblin.
own heart, a familiar.
This is a familiar?
That's right. The fighting spirit inside you made flesh. A soldier of your soul.
And he can really help me fight?
It's like a little gremlin.
Huh? That was a mean trick.
And the stronger you get, the harder he's gonna hit as well.
Wow.
Oh, everyone else is just so lovable, and Oliver's just so bland. So this is a familiar, huh? And he'll be coming with us. Indeed he will, Ollie boy. The more the merrier, ain't it? Here, excuse me, you better give the little fella a name, huh? I can call them? Ah, sick! So if I do end up doing a playthrough on Kuni, I can do my channel members. So I'm going to do Germ for this one, because for the PMD playthrough, I did do C-Styles, and I never got a chance to do my other channel members, so we'll do Germ. So are you sure you want to call the Mitt Germ? Oliver, oh sorry, wrong voice. We cannot let you set off into the wild with only that withered wand in your hand. Let me give you some spells to aid you in battle. The first is the restorative incarnation known as Healing Touch, or Heal or Cure. You receive the page describing Healing Touch spell. So here's all our magic for use MP. Tidy! That's the most useful spell there is for a wandering adventurer. Cuts, bruises, sprains, gashes, all gone in a jiffy with healing touch. Gee, you make it sound like I'm going to get hurt an awful lot, Mr. Drippy. Yeah, sure are, lad. Next, I'll give you the gift of Blazing Inferno. Fireball. Fire, Furaga. Shoots a little fireball, that one does. Plant-based beasties. Flippin' hate fire, man. Even old Treeface here is scared of fireball. Drippy, how dare you? You would never aim such a spell at me, would you, boy? Golly, of course not, old Father Oak. So we got Fireball. I'm seeing a lot of tropes for JRPGs just suddenly appearing all of a sudden. Now, boy, you can press square at any time to open your spells menu. While a spell like Healing Touch can be used at any time, Fireball is meant primarily for use in battle. That said, the most unexperienced of spells can prove incomparably useful given the right set of circumstances. Novel problems call for novel solutions, after all. If you find yourself at something of a loss, I'd recommend that you go through your magical repertoire. You never know what spell might save the day. You can now use the spell menu. What about the Heartbroken? What is that, and why is it so adorably cute?
Huh?
Spoiling for a fight, is it? Better give him what he wants, Ollie boy.
Huh? But what do I do?
Just think what you want him to do and he'll do it. It's as easy as falling off a log, man.
Okay.
Is it that easy?
What I want him to do. Here goes.
Well, that wasn't hard, boy. So teeny bopper A and teeny bopper B. Alrighty, Ollie boy, it's time to learn about fighting with familiars. First off, you need to pick who's going to fight out for you, and your little friend. We've gone to the trouble of making him, so we best give him a go, eh? Select him, will you? Alright, we'll select Germ. Tidy, now let's send him into the fray, shall we? Oh yeah, see that circle on the top left there? That's your familiar stamina gauge. Okay, so similar to the summoning function from Kingdom Hearts, for those who have played that, you can have them out in the field for so long and I think they'll disappear, and I would assume we can summon them back during the battle. If not, that's it for the battle, I would say. It does show how much longer they can fight for, see? The longer you keep him on the go, the shorter his stamina gauge will get. So when it's empty, that means the poor lad's so tired he can't fight anymore. Tragic, eh? So before that happens, you have to call him back to you for a bit of a rest, like... Oh, and there's something else about familiars you should know. See that little mark by here? That's his sign. So is that type? Yeah, now they're gonna handle this. So I wonder what that is. It's sort of like a star sign, except there's only 4 of them. Sun, moon, star, and planet. Now I'm getting all a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memory flashbacks all of a sudden. And like star signs, different ones get on better. You can use them to help you in battle. Next, let's talk about tricks. They're proper powerful abilities, a bit like your spells. And just like spells, they also cost MP to use. You can see the cost written next to them. So Cut Loose is 10. A barrage... Oh, I didn't get to read that. But what you've got to remember is that you and your familiars share MP and HP. Okay, that makes it a bit more of a strategic thing, I like. But so if your familiar uses a trick or takes a bit of damage, it's your MP or HP that'll suffer. Crikey, this is a long old lesson, eh? Right, let's finish with a top tip, shall we? Your familiar stamina is always going down, so you need to swap with him regularly. You can do that any time by pressing L1, ain't it? Now that I'm going to stop talking before I put us both to sleep, it's your turn to sing for your supper. Go on, boy batch. Alright, so I should probably do something. Nice, and it had a cool animation too. I'm gonna run around just for a little bit. Let them attack. As closer I remain to the enemies too, it looks like the more attacks I can do. It looks like Tippy threw us some mana. Oh, I gotta switch. Give him a rest. And I'm gonna take this out. There we go. And then pick up... Nope, nothing dropped. Alright, so it's interesting. So we've got to keep an eye on stamina gauge and get like advantages. They also have levels 2. Alright, so that grew to level 2. We grew to level 3. So now you know how to fight with familiar, ain't it, Ollie boy? To be true contender, you'll need to learn when you let... well, excuse me while I have a bit of a stroke there. You need to learn when to let your familiar loose and when to take control of yourself. I'll do my best, Mr. Drippy. And he goes back to our heart. You'll be forever next to our heart. Gotta trust the heart of our familiars. Oh, and yet he's not fighting. Little fella can be found taking it easy in the creature cage. In the creature cage, you can shower your faithful familiars with delicious treats. There's all kind of treats to choose from. Some will improve their abilities, and there are others, ones that can even teach them new tricks. Tidy. Feed the little blighters enough and what they fancy, and the bonds of familiarity between you will grow, meaning you can boost their abilities even more. Careful not to stuff them too full of sweeties, though they'll only end up getting full up. Adoration in moderation, that's the key. It's probably a lot to get your head around, but that's just remember that the creature cage is where you look after your familiars and take it from there, ain't it? The creature cage, got it. I promise to look after him real well, Mr. Drippy. Alright, the creature cage is now accessible from the main menu. Oh, I almost forgot. We had something we wanted to ask you, your trunkiness. There's a guard down in Ding Dong Dell, and he's broken-hearted, see? Broken-hearted, you say? Shadar's evil spreads still further. So you'll be needing... That we will, your Okitude. That quick you are. There's quick you are. You still got it, ain't you? Oh ho ho, patience, young Drippy. Of course I have. Let me see now. I know it's somewhere here. Crikey, you're not gone and lost it, have you? Lost it? The insolence. I'll put it away safely among my uppermost branches. It's just a little tangled up there, that's all. While I seek it out, I have a favour to ask you. What? Did I mention we're in flippin' hurry, didn't I? We haven't got time to go. Mr. Drippy, we should help old Father Oak. He gave us those spells, didn't he? Ah, how very refreshing to meet such a responsible and honest young man. All right, I'll get the flippin' message. Go on, what is it you need for us? Well, it's the guardian of these woods, you see. The guardian, eh? What's up with the old fella? I'm afraid he's become rather unruly of late, and he is neglecting his duties. Well, that's no good, is it? We'd better help you sort out then. The guardian, he sounds kinda tough. Too right he is. He's way stronger than your average beastie, but you got a familiar on your side now, mun. You'll be fine. And besides, if you're gonna take down Shadar, you can't back out on a bit of a light guardian bastion now, can ya? Okay, I'll do it. How very kind of you. The guardian can be found in the deepest part of the wood beyond the whispering waterfalls. I wish you luck. I knew it wasn't gonna be that easy. First spell now, familiars. You're turning into a proper wizard, ain't it, Ollie boy? I guess I am, huh? Now then, why don't you take a close look at your new mate, huh? Oh, how do I do that, Mr. Drippy? It's a piece of cake, man. Now listen up. If you look in the main menu, you'll see Friends and Familiars. That's where you'll find all sorts of details about you and your familiars' abilities. It looks a bit complicated, and there's a fair few options kicking about in there. To be fair, but you'll soon get the hang of it, man. Now you're still new to this wizarding lack, so there's a limit to what you can do, ain't it? But keep fighting monsters, eventually you'll get stronger. We call that leveling up, see? You'll probably make some new mates before long, and I'll be sure to take a closer look at them, like I showed you. You got it, Mr. Drippy. Your friends and familiars are now accessible from the main menu, so if we do that, because we open up quite a bit, so we can look at Germ, attack, defend, cut loose for attacks. Why does that look so familiar like the Pokemon menu? We've got equipment, we've got a whole bunch of other shenanigans, attack speed, movement speed, stamina 30. It's a might. That is the monster's name. And we have our elements, so we're not good to water, but resistant to wind. Is that what that means? Tricks. Oh, okay, so we got like a whole bunch of different things we can learn. Learned at level 10, level 20, unsure at level 50, Pebble Pelt, and Sandblast. So it actually tells us what we do learn through level ups, which is nice. What about us? What do we... Oh, okay, we don't. Abilities. Okay, we don't learn things through level ups. We should get them naturally as story progression goes. Looks pretty standard for like an JRPG. I do like that. Creature cage. Oh, okay, this looks like something reminiscent to like Paper Mario or something like that. It's got a big stage behind it. We got no treats, we got familiarity, growth limit 10. 0 out of 10 for fillness would be belly with how much we feed them. Alright, so this has got a bunch of shenanigans in it too. Bottomless bag, wizard's companion, that was just our magic book. Oh, this looks kind of a bit on the complicated side. I just thought I'd go in here and be like, oh yeah, I'll just see all the spells we've learnt. But no, I see there's chapters. Magic, alchemy, equipment, provisions, creatures and familiars, 12 tales of wonder, regions of the world, that'd be like teleportation, and then there's also an alphabet. That's lore, isn't it? Oh my lord! There's quite a bit going on in this game. I really like it, so I think that's gonna do it, because as I said, I don't want to drag this out any longer. This is going for way longer than I thought. I didn't realize it was going to be as story driven as it was. You know, I did expect a bit of story, but definitely not as heavy as the dialogue was. I know I tend to like say, oh, if there's too much dialogue, it's a bit of a bummer. But if the dialogue is exciting, which it is in Ni no Kuni with like the voice acting, as I said, it's very enthusiastic, it's charismatic, and it really brings to life like a lot of the characters, except for Oliver. That's about my only issue there. Oh, there's a chest. I was trying to find the save point. So we got white bread, which as I said is our recovery. The lore is going to be probably really interesting. But so far, first impressions of it, I really like it. I want to go back to the waypoint. I definitely want to now sit down and play a bit more of this. As I said, it's by level 5, so it should be really good considering my past experiences with level 5. I definitely want to cover a bit more of their games. There is obviously Professor Layton for the Nintendo Switch. They had released their level 5, did do that as well. And as I said, Dark Cloud will eventually come to the channel as well. Would this be a series on the channel? Heck yeah, I reckon it would. I reckon this is a game that it's right down my alley. As I said, I love my JRPGs. It's got the interest. It's potentially got the complexity to make it interesting. Story though, if it's too much story, then that's a bit of an issue, because when there's a lot of dialogue, I don't really know what to do, because I don't like commentating over it, and I tend to let the game just, you know, explain it for me, because the game does it better. And as I said, it tends to be a lot more interesting with the actual proper voice acting going on and everything too. Visually, it's what I expected. It's beautiful, it's outstanding. The vistas for the overworld is absolutely jaw-dropping. As soon as we went there with the opening scenes and all that, I was in absolute awe of how beautiful it is. It's exactly like the way they set up with the cutscenes, the way they open up the game. It's exactly like watching a Studio Ghibli movie. I have watched a little bit of Spirited Away, but I haven't watched the entire thing of it. But it does remind me of their animated movies. And you know, even as I said, I've studied a little bit of Studio Ghibli artwork with some of my art theories and all that when I was studying art. It's exactly what I expected, and I am so glad they nailed it. Everything works in really well with the animations for Studio Ghibli, even the actual in-game stuff. I'm not sure if that was done directly by Studio Ghibli, but is definitely smack bang and nail on the head in regards to Studio Ghibli vibes and everything. Tippy is absolutely amazing. I love Tippy. He is amazeballs. I love his voice acting. I swear to God, I've heard him from somewhere else too. He's absolutely amazing. As I said, voice acting for this game is on par, on top. Probably the best voice acting I've heard in a very long time, except for Ollie. But as I said, I'm not sure. I'm kind of torn on that in a way. It probably will grow on me the more I play. Battle mechanics. It's, yeah, as I said, there's been plenty of JRPGs that have done it before. Star Ocean has definitely done it. Pretty sure Final Fantasy did it as well. It's not my cup of tea when it comes to battle mechanics, but I can deal with it. It just takes me a little bit longer to get used to it because I'm used to turn-based. So that's a thing as well, but I do like it. It's interesting with familiars and their stamina gauge and having to switch in between your familiars and then to Ollie while they rest up. So there's a lot of strategy involved there as well, which I really do like. And there's probably a whole bunch of other spells too that do other unique things. It's a shame we didn't go through and do the Heartbroken stuff. I would assume there's a little thing there, like you might go through and do a little mini dungeon there, similar to that of Chocobo's dungeon, where you have someone who's like underneath a spell and all that, then you go into like a new dungeon and you beat that, then you cure the person. I would assume maybe something along those lines. If not, then I'd still be very interested to see it. So, overall thoughts is basically positive. There was very little I had to say negatively about this game, other than, as I said, Ollie is about my only kind of negative thing, and the experience not being as fast as it like the rest of the game. As I said, everything else in this game is just so quick, and yet the experience showing up is about the only thing that feels a little slow, that you have to force to be quick, which is so weird. Oh, that's just me being overly picky. But yeah, as I said, overall, would definitely do it as a series. It's the same as Nier Automata. I've got to find time now to play this. I have so many games to play now because of this. First impressions and plus my own other games I'm so curious to play. I think that does all the rattling on about my final thoughts for this game. I like it. I would recommend so far, just based off the first impressions, I'd recommend this game to people. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. I look forward to hearing from people who have played Ni no Kuni as well. Oh yeah, the music. I forgot to mention about music. I have been kind of tuning in. As I said, I was going to turn it up, but then I turned it down a little bit so the microphone didn't pick it up as well. I like the music, so I've been listening to it while I've been rambling on now. It's, as I said, it's atmospheric. It's got the nice orchestral tones to it, and it's not highly distracting. It's something you can listen to just in the background while you play to kind of help you push on. It doesn't seem highly repetitive, which is nice. I hate games with songs that just tend to, like, the more you listen to it, it starts to grate after a while. I've played a couple of games like that. It's just like, no, turn the music off, listen to my own music at that point, especially if I've got to grind. So yeah, I think that's it. Like, I don't know how grindy this game's going to be just based off first impressions. It could be grindy, it may not be grindy. It definitely seems like there's a lot of things to do, which is no surprise, but I tend to like games that have a lot of things to do. That's definitely not a negative, that's a positive. And with that, I think that's it. I'm pretty sure I've read off all I've wanted to say. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And thank you, if you've gotten to this point too, thank you for listening to me rattle on, or the little rattling I did earlier on. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys liked Ni no Kuni if you haven't played it before. And if you have played it before, I hope and you like this game of course, I hope I did it justice. And I hope you enjoyed listening to my opinions about this game. Anyways, that's it, I'm done. I need a drink of water now, obviously. And until next time, make sure to stay beautiful. And this is Lady KrimZen saying ciao for now, but not forever. Ciao!